I'm sure most of you would like to know when the first muffin was actually invented. It was actually invented by a man named Samuel Thomas. He originated from England, came up with the English muffin, and other muffins came later on. He immigrated into New York City to open up this bakery called the Chelsea. And the most famous muffin, believe it or not, is the blueberry muffin. But also I'm doing an honor, the show is also an honor of how to succeed in business, which I did in 2015. And also I was in The Sound of Music in 1975. Sound of Music, I was a nun, contestant, and a party guest, how to succeed in business ensemble. Well, this is really an honor of all these different things. Samuel Cook, who invented the muffin, Samuel Thomas, excuse me, who invented the muffin. And the most famous one is the blueberry muffin, and that's what we're going to do today. It's very interesting where these different foods come from. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. He opened up I think he also opened up the first bakery in New York, and they called it the Chelsea. I wonder if it's still, and I believe it might still be standing even today. Very interesting where these foods come from, folks. Very interesting. A lot of studying, doing a lot of research on it. All right, put this over here. The first bakery. Oh, folks, I missed those good old days of the bakery. We're going to eventually get to the honor of bakeries, but not today. We're honoring this one person who came up with the muffin. I'm adding in 1/3 cup of sugar. Now the next thing is I want to add my baking powder in. I'm going to add in 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Yeah, he definitely was born, he came up with this in the 1800s, late 1800s, I would say. Make sure we have this. 3 teaspoons of baking powder. But he actually came up with different kinds of muffins. He invented the muffin. First one, like I said, was the English muffin. Okay, The Sound of Music I did with the Center Drama Workshop in 1975. Very young then. Let's put this over here. This is, oh folks, this is a very old-fashioned sifter, folks. You know, you can still find it, but I like to use the old-fashioned one. Put my friend over here. Now the next thing I want to add in is a cup of milk. Probably in his day, they used bottled milk. Oh, milk was a lot different when they came in bottled glass milk bottles. Oh, they were so good. Here we go. 1 egg. And I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. There we go. There we go. We're going to stir this together. Muffin is also considered a quick bread because there's no yeast in it. I can imagine what his bakery must have smelled like. Oh, it must have smelled wonderful. Now we're going to add in some fresh blueberries. Make sure you wash this vegetation. A little bit more. Guarantee, even if he was in New York, he figured out a way to get fresh blueberries. Okay. Move this over here. I always believe when I make muffins is using an ice cream scooper. Let's get all this off. Alright, now, what we're going to do now is grease your muffin tin, folks. Halfway fill it up. We're going to pop this in the oven. We're going to bake this for about 15 minutes, okay? It's very interesting, like I say, how it was invented. Samuel Thomas. And here we have delicious, well-known blueberry muffins, world-known, all over the world. Like I said, the muffin started from England. Put this around. And it originated over here. It actually started with the English muffin, and it came to the United States. A guy named Samuel opened up a big bakery called Chelsea in New York City. This is when the first muffin actually was invented in the late 1800s, and also in honor of How to Succeed in Business 2015, and The Sound of Music in 1975. They're great home country kit, and it's also great sold with bottled milk. We still have it. I have collected in my antique area. They're great home country kit. Have a great day. Please subscribe to my wonderful YouTube channel.